Standard 8 Maths Chapter 13 Direct and Inverse Proportion. So far we have discussed up to example 2 and we have also discussed what is direct proportion and what are the things that has to be kept in mind while calculating the questions. Now we will proceed with example 3, that is on page number 206. That is page 206. That is example 3. Clear? Now, if the weight of 12 sheets of thick paper is 40 grams, there are sheets 12, there are 12 in number and their weight is 40 grams. How many sheets of same paper would weigh 2.5 kgs? Okay, so there again two things, there the number of sheets they have given and their weight is been given. So we will tabulate. So there are number of sheets. Clear? This is our x. Then weight this is given in grams. This is 2.5 kg. We will convert it in grams. That is 2.5 kgs will be 2.5 into 1000. That is 1 kg equals to 1000 gram. It will become 2500 grams. Okay. Now first case number of sheets are 12. Clear? Now and we have weight is 40 grams. Next case we have been given the grams of sheets or the weight of sheet, that is 2500, and we have to calculate the number of sheets which will come in 2500. So we will have to calculate this value. So this is our x1, this is our x2, this is our y1 and this is our y2. Clear? So we have to do nothing, we have to put this ratio equal, that is x1 upon y1 equals to x2 upon y2. Clear? That means 12 upon 40 equals to x2, which we have to calculate, that is the number of sheets, upon 2500. By doing cross multiplication we have x2 into 40, which is equal to 12 into 2500. The value of x2 will be 12 into 2500 upon 40. We can cancel out this 4 3s are, and that if we multiply 3 into 250, answer is 750. That means the value of x2 is 750, which means in 2500 gram or 2.5 kg we will be having 750 sheets. Okay, the number of sheets will be 750. Now next example, example 4. So example 4. What it says, a train is moving at a uniform speed of 75 km per hour. Speed of train is constant, that is 75 km per hour. Clear? I have also discussed this thing in last video. So far, how far it will travel in 20 minutes. Okay. So again I am repeating, speed is equal to distance upon time. Now we have to calculate distance. Distance will become speed into time. This thing you have to keep in mind. Now the first part is how far it will travel in 20 minutes. Remember, this speed is given in kilometer per hour and in question they have been asked 20 minutes. So two things are there, either we can convert this hour into minutes or we will convert the question that which has been given 20 minutes, that 20 minute into hour. It's better we'll convert that 20 minutes into hour. So the first part is time we have given 20 minutes, or in order to convert it into hours we will simply divide it by 60. So it will become 1 upon 3 hour. Okay, we have to calculate the distance. Distance is speed into time. Speed was 75 km and time we have 1 upon 3. This is 1 upon 3. So it is 25 kilometers. So in 20 minutes we will cover 25 kilometers distance. Now second we have to second part we have to find a time which is required to cover a distance of 250 kilometers. So we can do it by the tabular form. Now we can do by the tabular form. Now we have distance and we have time. That is 75 kilometers and 1 hour. Or we can take this 1 hour into 60 minutes. So first we have distance in kilometer and we have time in minutes we are taking. Okay. So for speed was given 75 kilometers 1 hour. That means it covers 75 kilometers in 1 hour, or we can say that 75 kilometers in 60 minutes. So first case distance is 75 kilometers and time is 60 minutes. So what we have calculated by this unitary method, we can calculate it by direct proportion method. So first what they asked, time travel how far distance travel in 20 minutes. So we have to calculate the distance and we have been given the time. Okay. And next part, find the time required to cover a distance of 250 kilometers. In this case, this distance is given 250 kilometers and this time has been asked. This we have done by the unitary method, the like normal method, but now we will do with this method. Now this is x, this is our y, these are corresponding value of x1, x2 and x3. These are the corresponding value of y. This is y1, y2 and y3. We have to calculate x2 and we have to calculate y3. Now what I have told that these ratio will remain same. That is 75 upon 60, or I am rubbing this out. What I told that is x1 upon y1 will always equal to x2 upon y2. x1 upon y1 is 75 upon 60. This is equal to x2 upon 20. Now by cross multiplication we have x2 into 60, which is equal to 75 into 20. x2 will become 75 into 20 upon 60. Now 3s are 25. So the value of x2 is 25, which we have calculated like in by the normal method. Like in 20 minutes, the train will cover 25 kilometers. Similarly, we can calculate this y3, that is a time required to cover 250 kilometers. We have x1 upon y1 equals to x3 upon y3. It is equal to 75 upon 60. 2 equals to 250 upon y3. By cross multiplication we have y3 into 75, which is equal to 250 into 60, and y3 will become 250 into 60 upon 75. Now we can cancel it out. 15 fours are and 15 fives are 75. This is 5 is a 5, 550. That is 50 into 40, that is 200. What is 200? These are 200 minutes, which means in order to cover 250 kilometers, train will take 200 minutes. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now we will take next example. That is example number 5. Then we will proceed with the exercise. Now example 5. The scale of a map is given as 1 is to, this is ratio is given. Scale of a map is given 1 is to 3 into 10 to the power 7. Two cities are 4 centimeter apart and on the map find the actual distance between them. Now what are the two things that has been given? Distance, distance on map. What is scale of map? That is distance on map upon actual distance. This ratio has been given. What they have given the ratio? This is 1 upon 3 into 10 to the power 7. Means if the distance on map is 1 centimeter, then the actual distance will be 3 into 10 to the power 7 meters. Okay, or centimeter, sorry. This is given in centimeter. This is centimeter. Okay. So if the distance between two city on map is 1 centimeter, then the actual distance between those two city will be 3 into 10 to the power 7 centimeter. Now what they have asked, if the two cities are 4 centimeter apart on map, so this value is given 4 centimeter. They have said that if the two cities are 4 centimeter apart on map, what will be the actual distance between them? So it is very simple. This is our x, this is our y, this is our x1, this is our x2, and this is y1 and this is y2. We have x1 upon y1, then we have x2 upon y2. Clear? So it is 1 upon 3 into 10 to the power 7, which is equal to 4 upon y2. By simply cross multiplication, this is y2 into 1. We have 4 into 3 into 10 to the power 7. So y2 will become 12 into 10 to the power 7. Okay, centimeter. So this is, we have to put 7 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are centimeters. Now if we have to convert it into meters or kilometers, so 1 kilometer equals 1000 meter and 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So 1 kilometers will be equal to this much centimeter. So in order to convert this centimeter, we have to divide by this value. Clear? So it will become y2 will become upon this. That is, so we can cancel out this and this. So it will become y2 will become 1200 kilometers. That means that two cities are 1200 kilometers apart. So with this we have discussed the examples. Now we will proceed with exercises. Exercise 13.1. I hope the things are clear to you. What is direct proportion or what is the direct variation? So it will become easy to solve the questions. So question number 1 of exercise 13.1. This is exercise 13.1. Clear? Now following are the car parking charges near a railway station. Up to 4 hours it is rupees 60, up to 8 hours it is rupees 100, for 12 hours it is rupees 140, for 24 hours it is rupees 180. So we have to check whether these parking charges are in direct proportion or not. So what we have been given, this is question number 1. We have been given number of hours and the parking charges. So we have number of hours and this is our x, and parking charges, or we can simply write the charges in rupees. This is our y. Okay, we can make a table out of that. This is for 4 hours it is rupees 60. Clear? For 8 hours it is rupees 100. For 12 hours it is rupees 140, and for 24 hours it is rupees 180. 80. So we have to check whether they are in direct proportion or not. So this is corresponding to x, this is x1, this is x2, this is x3, this is x4, or this is y1, this is y2, this is y3 and y4. So we have to calculate x1 upon y1 first. So x1 upon y1 is 4 upon 60. It comes out to be 1 upon 50. Okay. Now x2 upon y2, it is 8 upon 100. This is 4 twos are and 25s are. This is 2 upon 25. This is now x3 upon y3, it is 12 upon 40. This is 3 and this is 35. Yes, and x4 upon y4. We have 24 upon 180, that is 6 fours are and 6b. So we are seeing that this is x1 upon y1 is 1 upon 15, x2 upon y2 is 2 upon 25, x3 upon y3 is 3 upon 35, x4 upon y4 is 4 upon 30. So what we are observing that these ratios are not equal or these ratios are not constant. Since these ratios are not constant, so they are not in direct proportion. So we can write down that since the ratios are not constant, so therefore these means number of hours and parking charges, they are not in a direct proportion. Clear? Now question number 2. We will see question number 2. What it is? In a mixture of paint prepared by mixing 1 part of red pigment with 8 parts of base. So there are two things, red pigment and number of parts of base. Find the part of base which that to be knitted. So in this directly table is given parts of red pigment. We can take it as X, and second thing is parts of base. This is our Y. Clear? This is this way. For one part we have to mix 8 part of base. For 4 part we have to calculate, for 7, for 12 and for 20 we have to calculate. So this is our x1, x2, x3, x4 and x5. So this is y1, y2, y3, y4 and y5. Clear? Now we have x1 upon y1 equals to x2 upon y2. This I am been repeating so many times. So it will become 1 upon 8 equals to, this is 4 upon y2 we have to calculate. So by cross multiplication y2 will become 8 into 4, that is 32. So in order for 4 parts of red pigment, parts of base required will be 32. Clear? Now similarly we have to calculate y3. This x1 upon y1 will equal to x3 upon y3, that means 1 upon 8 equals to 7 upon y3. So y3 will become 8 into 7, that is 56. So for 7 parts of red pigment, number parts of base required will be 56. Now for x4 we have x1 upon y1 equals to x4 upon y4, that equals to 1 upon 8 equals x4, that is 12 upon y4. So y4 will be equal to 8 into 12, that is 96. 96 parts of base. And the last part is this x1 upon y1 equals to x5 upon y5. It becomes 1 upon 8 equals to 20 upon Wi-Fi. That means Wi-Fi equals to 8 into 20. That comes out to be 160. So 20 parts of red pigment and 160 part of base required. So I hope this is clear to you all. So next question we will be taking up our next video. Thank you.